a question for all of you. How many of you have heard of the Lou Gehrig's disease, or ALS? How about the Ice Bucket Challenge? The ALS Association, the nonprofit fighting ALS, raised $100 million during a single month of this campaign. Let me ask you a different question. How many of you knew of the ALS disease in 2013? A few of you, right? Well, like us, I would believe that most Americans did not know of the Lou Gehrig's disease in 2013. Coincidentally, the ALS Association raised only $2.5 million in the whole 2013 year, 40 times less than what they were able to raise in a single month of the campaign. And I would expect that that makes sense, right? You know, we wouldn't be able to support a cause that we didn't know of. And it was only after ALS became prominent in our minds that we could engage, empathize, and donate. So what you see is all there is. Let me tell you a bit more about that expression and why it matters to us. What is it? What you see is all there is was coined by two prominent psychologists in the 70s, Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky. It highlights our propensity to make intuitive judgments, jump to conclusions, and decide on the basis of what we already know, what's familiar to us, without any regard of what we don't know. So however practical that intuitive approach might be, it can lead us to mistakes, errors, however. Let me tell you a story to illustrate that point. I've been investing in the stock market for the last couple of years, focusing primarily on long-term growth industries like electric vehicles and ancillary services for that industry. And one of the companies of the holdings that I've had in my portfolio was a very prominent sort of dollar stock company called Ecotality. Between the summer of 2012 and the summer of 2013, Ecotality brought a new CEO to the team, announced multiple partnerships with retailers to expand their car charging network, grew their profit offering, and then on the side, the electric vehicle market segment was actually quite flamboyant. You had Tesla, for the first time in their history, making profit 2 consecutive quarters. You had BMW bringing the first mass-produced vehicle in their lines for electric vehicles. And then you have Ecotality itself with 13,000 stations in their car charging network ready to ride along this growth of this industry. So the stock price for Ecotality grew 2 to 3 times during that period, those 2 quarters of the year. And the market was liking it, right? The future looked just bright. So I didn't vacillate. On Friday, August 9th, I doubled my position on the company. I was very aggressive and confident on what I was doing, but not for long. 3 days later, on Monday, August 12th, 2013, Ecotality announced that they have launched a major funding source from the Department of Energy, and they were getting ready to file a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I lost all my money, but I gained an important lesson. Our intuitive minds love a simple, coherent story. And the simpler and the more coherent it is, the more confident we feel about it. And we enjoy being in this state of overconfidence. But there is a problem with that. There is always multiple sides to the story. And arriving to a balanced viewpoint is not only hard work, it also compromises our high level of confidence. And so, we resist pursuing that balanced viewpoint. We enter into this denial and suppress any source of information that might introduce any uncertainty or ambiguity in our judgment or decision. Right? So we isolate ourselves from anything that might risk that very nice, rounded story we have built in our minds. That kind of a story that we crave to just feel good. Now you would say, well, then why would we let our biased intuition dictate our judgments and decisions? And because it is essentially because the alternative, rational approach to decision making or judgment is time-consuming, impractical. And so we wouldn't survive in that way, right? For most of our judgments and decisions, an off-the-shelf judgment is enough, is adequate, and we can go along. So in conclusion, what you see is all there is. Communicate how we approach most of our judgments and decisions. However, we might not want to give a blank check to our biased intuition all the time, especially when the stakes are high and we might feel that everything is too good to be true. We might want to actually stop jumping to conclusions and engage our rational mind. Because at the end of the day, right, we might lose that very nice, rounded story that our minds crave, but who wants a story with an ugly ending anyways? So what you see is all there is. Maybe. Thank you.